You'll likely have questions, and that's why I'm here. I'm Jessica with the Fergus Falls Monument Company, the person you'll probably see or talk to when you come in or call. I'm here to help answer your questions, and I'll show you where your memorial at Fergus Falls Monument is designed and created, right here locally, because that matters. When you're ready to consider a memorial, call or visit us online at Fergus Falls Monument Company. Memorials that matter.
Check out FergusFallsDeals.com for food and drink in the area. We cover it all, and you can save money with places like BFW Post 612 in Fergus Falls, Garden Bar on 6th in Alexandria, Terrace Lanes in Wapaton, Old Town in Clitheroe, Perkins in Fergus Falls, Parallel 46 in Pelican Rapids, and Melby Outpost.
Got a lot of people shopping online and on the go
at FergusFallsDeals.com.
It's Morning Talk on News Talk 1250 KBRF, brought to you by Pioneer Care and Fergus Falls Monument Company. Now, here's Mary Dolan and Dave Bishop.
Almost forgot what day it is. Well, good Thursday morning. And we're back on Morning Talk with Mary Dolan and Dave Bishop. And
good morning.
hoping everybody's having a great start to your day. How's it going,
Well,
Mary?
I've already been out and shoveled twice this morning.
I haven't gotten that far. I need to snow blow. I need to snow blow at my parents' house. I felt really guilty when I stopped by there last night and didn't snow blow. But I'm like, hey, it's still snowing. I'll swing by
Yeah, I
tomorrow.
know. And it wasn't so heavy that you can't do it all at once,
No.
too. I'm one of those people, just stay ahead of it. So I did it a couple of times last night and just shovel it off to the side. And then I thought, oh, those edges look pretty rotten. I thought, I'll get that later. And I'll wait till the man of the house gets home. He can do that. But then the plow came by this morning. So I
Uh-oh.
thought, well, I have to take the snow plow out to do the end of the driveway. Might as well just do
Yep.
the edges. It took like 10 minutes. So no big deal. Everything cleaned out, ready to go. And now the wind is coming in.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So I suppose there will be some more drifts, and all the work that I did this morning will be for naught. But, it was good exercise, right?
Exactly. I have to
Yeah.
laugh. I was thinking about it, and I don't think I have, maybe once this year I've snowblowed the back of the house where I park, but I've got a Jeep, and I usually wear,
Right.
kind of
So other than that,
wintry boots, so I don't really worry about
you've
it too
just
much.
shoveled.
But no, I don't even shovel back
Oh.
there. So I just drive out of it. But I've snowblowed the front a couple times. I've shoveled the front a couple times. But when it comes down to the back, I just deal with it. I'm just like, I've
That's-
got a Jeep. I can
That's
drive
why
out of
you
this.
got a four-wheel drive. Just drive through it. So, well, anyway, hopefully you are handling all of your snow this morning. And yeah, and it's cold out there. That wind has picked up, and it is cold. I don't know how strong the wind is right now, but I really felt it whipping when I was driving in and getting out of my car out here in the parking lot. It's pretty strong.
24 gusting, 30, and
Okay.
dropping that wind chill down to,
Oh,
gonna
do
move
we
in front
want
of
to
the
know?
camera. Oh, 20 below.
Oh, my.
It's bad, but it's not, bad.
Well, it felt pretty cold this morning. And I guess it just depends on where you are, and out here we're pretty open. So
Oh, yeah, by
Yeah.
the station,
yeah,
wide
so you
open.
feel it when you get out of your car. But anyway, here we are, hardy Minnesotans, and we'll endure this, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
especially if we get a north wind or northwest where it's
I
just
think
at that
is the wind
angle.
out of the south, it felt like? It's hard to
It's out of the west.
Oh, it is. Okay. It felt like it was out of the south when I was outside today, based on where I was trying to blow snow.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Anyway, here it is Thursday already. Finally,
It is.
now this week I'm having one of my normal weeks where everything just goes, and all of a sudden it's Thursday.
And I do, before we get too much further, I do want to remind everybody we have started our video streams.
We have,
It's just kind of like the coaches show. It's like some of our sports streams.
right?
Go to the Fergus Now app, and then you'll see the Morning Talk banner up top. Click on that, and it'll take you to the page that has our video streams. Or you can go to the KBRF radio YouTube page. But the easiest way to do it is our free Fergus Now app. Just download it there, and then just click on the icon, and we'll take you right there.
And you can watch us drink coffee.
Drink coffee and go, wow.
I know. When they first brought up this idea, I was like, really? Are we really going to do that? Then I thought, I'm just going to do what I normally do. I'm going to drink coffee. I'm going to refer to my phone. I'm going to use one of my 10 pens over here.
Well, I mean, the
You,
funny thing is, you don't have to do anything differently.
I don't, and I'm not.
I've got all the video controls.
You've got all the controls, which sort of scares me.
Derek helped set it up. Derek Bowes does most of the work.
Yeah, so I'm counting on you, is
Yeah.
what you're saying?
Well, yeah, me and Derek. I mean,
Yeah, I know, but so you can't like do any zooming or anything like that.
no,
can
I
you?
mean, I can't magically do that. We switched out the cameras here
I saw
over
that.
on my end where I've got the robot camera, which technically I could zoom in, zoom out, and move it around, but I mean that'd just make it a mess. But
Yeah.
it's a little bit better angle than what we had yesterday. And
Okay.
then
Well, I'm just confirming that you can't.
no, I can't.
You
I can't do a
yeah,
thing from
okay,
here.
good.
I mean, if
Because
you
that would be fun for you sometimes,
if
wouldn't it?
somebody ran into that studio and just kind of messed around with the camera, I'm pretty sure you'd notice it.
Oh,
I
okay.
mean, it's like what 10 feet away from you, right there.
Not very far.
No.
It's right next to me. It kind of feels like today. Well, of course, we've got so much to talk about. I mean, again, how would you like to be now the White House press secretary?
That is a job I would, no matter who the president is,
I
I would
agree.
never want that
But
job.
she's got her work cut out for her because all of these sweeping reforms and all of the things that are going on, you know, I think even if the left thought some of these were good ideas and good ways to save money, we know that they would outwardly never,
Never
ever
support it.
agree
Never
or
support
support.
it.
Right. And so she's going to get stuff leveled at her every single day. We got to keep in mind this girl is 27 years old. Think
Yeah.
of, boy, me at 27, I sure wouldn't have had the guts to do that. And she's very bright.
Oh, very intelligent. Yes.
And she commands the room from what I've seen so far. She doesn't let anybody walk on her.
Well, she's not sitting there looking through a binder. That
No.
helps. She actually knows what she's talking about.
She actually does. But it's got to be a difficult position because President Trump has made some unbelievably sweeping reforms. Of course, everybody is pushing back on Elon Musk and him having a little too much power. And maybe,
Maybe
you
rightfully
know what
so.
I would like to see? Um, I love the fact that he's trying to save the U.S. government money and some of the stupid things that we have been spending money on. That USAID, I'm going to find it during the break.
Okay.
There was a story from Mike Huckabee yesterday, and he outlined the things that we, the United States, through the USAID, are paying for around this world, and you won't even believe it.
Is the $50 million for Gaza condoms real?
Well, I that was not on the list
I was
that
gonna say
I read.
I've heard that it is, and heard that it isn't. So
Well, it certainly could be. When I tell you the other things that money has been
Okay.
spent on, you will absolutely believe that that is a possibility. Ridiculous amounts of money going for ridiculous things like transgender coloring books in another country, like
Okay.
in Nicaragua or I don't know where it was. I'll look up the story here, but ridiculous things that the United States through the USAID is paying for. So now all of a sudden they want to get rid of this. But what they need to be, I think, more clear about is that any money that is being paid out in support of people, food, relief, those sorts of things, those have not been affected. But all this crazy stuff that I will tell you about, that has been affected and has been wiped off the map. Thank heaven. So anyway, another thing that has we've been waiting for this. I don't know. I think you're in agreement with me here, but I certainly have been waiting for this. We talked a little bit about it yesterday. President Trump signed an executive order banning transgender girls and women from participating in female sports.
Yeah,
Now,
that's something that needed to be.
oh my goodness.
It's just absolutely ridiculous.
It is absolutely ridiculous. And of course, they cite concerns about fairness
Safety.
and safety. Yep. And the order, which uses the Title IX federal law banning sex discrimination, also impacts U.S. visa policies for transgender athletes competing in events in this country. So that's pretty wide sweeping.
And I'd also like to point out, most of the countries in the world are behind this. You cannot be a transgender woman and compete in women's sports in Europe.
There are countries where transgender women are being executed. Now,
Well,
we
that
certainly
too.
don't agree with that.
No, absolutely not.
But I mean, so they have some, I guess what I'm saying is they have some pretty stark rules and regulations with regard to that very thing. But I mean, women have worked their tails off for so many decades
Yep.
trying to find their way and get what's coming to them with regard to sports, both high school, college, and even, professional sports. And there's just no room for this.
No.
So quit it. And that's what they're trying to do. So President Trump's Department of Education launched an investigation. This is kind of a follow-up. Launched an investigation into potential Title IX violations that occurred at multiple educational institutions hours after he signed that executive order to ban trans athletes from women's sports. The Department's Office of Civil Rights will be investigating. Remember, San Jose State was the big one in women's volleyball. They
Yep.
had that, and players were getting hurt because this man is playing volleyball. Anyway, they will be investigating San Jose State University, the University of Pennsylvania, and the Massachusetts Interscholastic Athletic Association for separate incidents involving trans athletes competing on a women's or girls' sports team. So, anyway, President Trump's executive order keeping men out of women's sports is a promise to women and girls. This administration will not tolerate the mistreatment of female athletes. So, here. I like that idea.
I do. I mean,
Well, it's dangerous.
there's a
If for
reason why
no
there's
if for
males
no
and there's
other
yeah.
reason, absolutely. And if for no other reason than safety alone,
Yep.
but fairness, a very, very close second. These girls and women have worked their tails off
Yep.
since they were 5, 6, 7 years old. I mean, they've been working at this sport their whole life. And then to have somebody come and take their position, or it just doesn't make any sense. And if these men that have transitioned to women, I mean, go play on the men's team. I just don't. There's just no room for it.
Yeah.
And I really like. Of course, there will be multiple lawsuits across the board. I just don't know why anybody, no matter what side of the fence you're on, I just don't. And I'm not. You don't even have to feel differently against transgender people. Uh, That has nothing to do with it. You just can't have men playing on women's sports. You
There's a
just
reason why
can't.
there's a men's division and a
Absolutely.
women's division.
Absolutely. Okay, I kind of like this story. Transportation Secretary, of course, he's brand new, Sean Duffy, announced that the Department of Government Efficiency will work on upgrading the aviation system,
Oh,
and then fired back at former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, who decided to get into the mix.
she just needs to go away.
Well, I thought she had actually, but all of a sudden she's back. Anyway, she said this big news. Talk to the Doge team. They are going to plug in to help upgrade our aviation system. So she went on to say they have no relevant experience. Most of them aren't old enough to rent a car. And you're going to let them mess with airline safety that's already deteriorated on your watch? Wait now.
It's been a couple weeks.
It's been a couple of weeks. So she thinks it's fallen apart in 2 weeks.
No.
Well, anyway, so Duffy fired back at Hillary Clinton. And he reminds us she was the Democrat who lost to President Trump the first time around. Madam Secretary, with all due respect. I love that line because nobody ever means any
No,
respect.
it's like bless your heart.
Yeah. Madam Secretary, with all due respect, experienced Washington bureaucrats are the reason that our nation's infrastructure is crumbling. You need to sit this one out, he declared. So I guess we'll see. With the support of the president, the Doge team will aim to make rapid safety upgrades to the air traffic control system. Just a few days ago, the FAA's primary aircraft safety notification system failed for several hours, and they are going to work to go and fix that up. And of course, did you see that? I think I don't know if the flight was last night or today. Might have been this morning. There were two planes that I'm not. I can't even remember the airport, but the one backed its wing into the tail of another.
Oh man.
Yeah. And it was an area of that particular airport that is not controlled by the controllers. So it didn't. Nobody got hurt.
It was the workers. The
Yes, probably. So just a stupid mistake on the ground. So I don't think we can blame that on our aviation system. But anyway, it just feels like, and maybe that's why Hillary Clinton felt like she should weigh in, because we've had two terrible disasters and now this stupid mistake. It looked like, I suppose they had to ground both planes just because they had been.
Well, I mean, if they're in a collision, yeah.
Well, I mean, one was backing up and backed into the tail of another. It looked like, I don't know. And maybe I didn't watch it very closely, but it kind of felt like, like a fender bender kind of thing. Of course, a very expensive fender bender.
Yeah, but if there's a fender bender on my car, say somebody backs into my door, I can still drive it. If somebody backs into a wing or a tail in an airplane,
Yeah,
I don't want to be on that.
no, exactly right. And I'm sure that they, evacuated both those planes. Nobody got hurt, so that's the good news. The White House clarified. Now they have to see. This is what I talked about. The press secretary, Caroline Leavitt. She had to help back this up a little bit. The White House clarified that President Trump's proposal to relocate Palestinians from Gaza was meant to be temporary.
Okay.
That is not what he said. In
No.
fact, he, I think, used the words long term yesterday. And he did so at the surprise of many of his own party and cabinet. They were kind of
nobody's
like,
gonna,
what?
because that is like the dumbest idea.
Well, he referred to it
Wow.
at one point as the Riviera of the Middle East.
All right,
Now, that just makes him look like a rich knucklehead, I think. But
so
anyway.
so he wants Panama back, at least the Panama Canal. He wants to buy Canada, Greenland, and now Gaza.
Anyway, I say work on what's going wrong here.
So yeah, let's do that America First thing.
Well, anyway, so they walked it back and said, whoa, we didn't mean that. And then he had even suggested that it might include American troops. And Caroline Leavitt yesterday said that the president has never confirmed that there will be American or U.S. boots on the ground in Gaza. So she had to walk back some things yesterday.
She had to say it never confirmed. That's kind of like,
Yeah.
yes, he said it, but it was so stupid that everybody
Right,
wants to forget it.
right. Of course, it followed criticism from allies and lawmakers after Trump's initial suggestion to permanently resettle
Ooh.
Palestinians and consider deploying American troops to the territory. But it sounds like, gosh, sorry, didn't mean to say that. Caroline, help me do a little cleanup on aisle 4. All right.
An aisle oval.
Yeah, aisle oval. Yeah, my goodness. Okay, coming up on 9:30, break for some more market information. We are back with more on Morning Talk. Stay with us.
Back with more Morning Talk with Mary Dolan and Dave Bishop. Brought to you by Pioneer Care and Fergus Falls Monument Company. After the markets on News Talk 1250 KBRF. Depend on it.
Check out FergusFallsDeals.com for food and drink in the area. We cover it all, and you can save money with places like BFW Post 612 in Fergus Falls, Garden Bar on 6th in Alexandria, Terrace Lanes in Wapaton, Old Town in Clitheroe, Perkins in Fergus Falls, Parallel 46 in Pelican Rapids, and Melby Outpost.
Got a lot of people shopping online and on the go.
At FergusFallsDeals.com.
I'm Derek Sidian with KBRFradio.com News. Join me live every Friday on KBRFradio.com or the Fergus Now app for the weekly news recap, where I recap this week's hottest local news and you catch up on what you might have missed. The live stream starts at 12:30 and will be available to watch after the stream ends. The KBRFradio.com weekly news recap is brought to you by Fergus Falls Monument. Online at foreverstonememorial.com. Memorials that matter.
KBRF presents Where to Eat, the culinary adventure, sponsored by Dandelion and Burdock and Service Food in Fergus Falls.
Hi, I'm Zach Daniels.
And I'm Dave Bishop, your guide to the region's culinary treasures.
Join us as we explore various restaurants, uncover delicious meals, and highlight each restaurant's signature dish.
Experience diverse cuisine types, unique atmospheres, and must-try dishes. Check it out on KBRFradio.com and the Fergus Now app.
New episodes air every first Friday of the month. Where to Eat, powered by Dandelion and Burdock and Service Food of Fergus Falls.
There was this one time when our keynote presentation crashed because of outdated equipment. So embarrassing. I needed a venue that could handle our tech needs without a hiccup, and the Big Wood Event Center delivered. From their fast Wi-Fi to reliable microphones and projectors, everything worked great. It gave us peace of mind and it allowed us to put on a polished, professional presentation. Their setup let us focus on what mattered most, getting our message across. Meetings with impact begin at bigwoodeventcenter.com.
Good morning. Market update on the Red River Farm Network. I'm Randy Conan. Grain markets trading mixed here this morning. We're seeing the corn market and the soybean market trading slightly lower. Wheat market's managing to hang on to some gains here this morning. Kind of a two-sided market action. Corn Belt market analyst Tyler Endress says the market are just acting pretty timid here this morning.
And not really for sure if it's the right time to keep pushing this thing higher in front of South American harvest that looks like it really could start in earnest in some key areas now with it drying up a little bit down there. So it just feels like we had a lot of bullish news the beginning of the week with tariffs not really taking effect, no retaliatory tariffs on the U.S. agricultural products, and then that news kind of has ebbed away a little bit, and now the story is back to South American weather, and it looks like that could be improving.
And over on the livestock side of things, Andrus says the big story there continues to be the fund long position.
You made all-time record highs in the cash market, in the futures market, and then there's a couple things that have happened this week and in the past week that have kind of, turned the tide maybe for the fund's appetite to stay long. So
you're listening to the Red River Farm Network.
North Dakota beef producers. Your checkoff dollars power beef promotions with the strength to reach consumers 1 billion times. By bringing the Beef It's What's for Dinner brand to digital platforms, your dollars target more consumer audiences with greater efficiency and impact. Learn more about how you help to keep beef top of mind in a new generation of consumers at drivingdemandforbeef.com. Funded by the North Dakota Beef Checkoff.
You're protected and appreciated. Irie Insurance.
Hi, this is Bethany Rentz, crop insurance agent with Irie Insurance. We've been protecting revenue and preserving equity for over 40 years. We provide a breakdown for farm programs such as the Farm Bill and Farm Safety Net. Partner with us to choose the right insurance coverage for your farm. Call us today to meet with an Irie Insurance agent to make your 2025 crop insurance selections prior to March 15th. Visit IrieINS.com. Irie Insurance is an equal opportunity provider.
Don't miss the dry bean scene every Friday at 12:35 on the Red River Farm Network. Specialty crop markets are special and require more digging than corn, soybeans, and wheat. We do that digging by talking with numerous crop scouts, growers, and processors in the North Harvest region or wherever beans that affect local markets are grown. So follow the dry bean scene every Friday at 12:35 on this Red River Farm Network station. The dry bean scene, brought to you by the North Harvest Bean Growers Association.
The Red River Farm Network is reporting on the happenings in Bismarck with the North Dakota Legislative Report. Each Friday morning at 6:37, you'll hear from lawmakers and ag leaders. This special coverage made possible by NDFB, Ag Country Farm Credit Services, North Dakota Grain Growers Association, Northern Pulse Growers Association, North Dakota Farmers Union, and the North Dakota Corn Growers Association. The North Dakota Legislative Report, Fridays on the Red River Farm Network.
March wheat, Minneapolis, penny and a half higher, 6.20. Chicago March wheat's up 3.5 at 5.75 3/4. Kansas City March wheat 4.25 higher, 5.96. March corn down 4.5, 4.88 3/4. New crop December down 2.5, 4.66. March soybeans down 5 3/4, 10.51 1/4. November soybeans down 4, 10.58. March canola 6.40 a metric ton higher. February live cattle 247 lower, 201.12. April's down 395. March feeder cattle down 472 at 266. April down 475. The February lean hogs down 32 cents at 86.32. April down 35 cents. This is the Red River Farm Network.
I'm Derek Sidian with KBRFradio.com News. Join me live every Friday on KBRFradio.com or the Fergus Now app for the weekly news recap, where I recap this week's hottest local news and you catch up on what you might have missed. The live stream starts at 12:30 and will be available to watch after the stream ends. The KBRFradio.com weekly news recap is brought to you by Fergus Falls Monument, online at foreverstonememorial.com, memorials that matter.
Whether you're doing dishes, tackling laundry duty, or getting those little humans clean, with an electric water heater, you're always saving money because electric water heaters are super efficient. And with rebates, bill credits, or low off-peak rates, you save even more. Otter Tail Power Company is here to help. Visit otpco.com/water heating.
Layton Media is proud to bring you the Fergus Falls Home and Garden Show to the Bigwood Event Center March 8th and 9th, sponsored by Fergus Home and Hardware. Explore the latest in home improvement, landscaping, remodeling, and more. The first 300 attendees will get a swag bag full of cool stuff from Ugstead Plumbing and Heating, Atlas Outdoors, and Lakeside Lumber. If you'd like to be involved, spaces are filling up fast. Learn more at FergusFallsHomeandGardenShow.com. FergusFallsHomeandGardenShow.com.
Check out FergusFallsDeals.com for food and drink in the area. FergusFallsDeals.com has it all, and you can save money with places like Backroads in Evansville, Lake Cabin Meat and Deli, Hillbillies Depot in Earhart, Shoreline in Battle Lake, Papa Murphy's in Fergus Falls, and Fresh and Fancy at Mama Sheena's.
Got a lot of people shopping online and on the go.
At FergusFallsDeals.com.
Community is important, and you'll find it at Pioneer Point. Spacious apartments, thoughtfully designed for older adults, provide the best in senior living. Heated parking and elevator access makes life easy. Your neighbors at Pioneer Point hold a welcoming, family-like approach to living. Choosing from an array of special features and options, you'll find many ways to define your lifestyle at Pioneer Point. Call or schedule your tour online today at pioneercare.org.
News Talk 1250 KBRF. Listen anytime, any place with the Fergus Now app on your phone. Going through today, checking our forecast. Sorry, video people, we're going to have to move that. Going through today, we're going to top out around 10 with some patchy blowing snow. Going to be fairly breezy. Wind chills down around 19 up below. For tonight, down to 2 below for tonight's low. 13 for Friday's high. 7 on a Friday night's low. A little bit of snow coming in here Friday night into Saturday. Saturday topping out at 13. 11 below on Saturday. We'll hit 11 above on Sunday. Super Bowl Sunday, warm up. Maybe get some chili, something warm, because 8 below for Sunday night's low. Monday, as we head back to work, it's going to be up around 2. Right now, Fergus Falls currently sitting in at 3 above. Wind chill down around 21 below, Mary. Morning Talk with Mary and myself, brought to you by Pioneer Care and at Fergus Falls Monument Company.
All right. You mentioned Super Bowl. Of course, we've been talking a lot about that.
Yep.
And they have decided that they are going to be changing the messaging in the end zone for Super Bowl.
They've ended races.
Yes. So no more end racism in the,
Super Bowl.
in the Super Bowl, in the end zone. They are going to say instead, choose love and it takes all of us. It is the first time since 2021 that End Racism will not be featured in the Super Bowl end zone. So what do you think?
That's been kind of in pretty much every end zone since the George Floyd incident,
Right.
and so plus on the back of the helmets they've had like "End Racism, Choose Love," and the other one
Okay.
that's kind of been on there. So
Well, they're suggesting that because the president may be in attendance at the Super Bowl, that they're going to get that out of there because
I don't
they
think
see
so.
it as a DEI thing.
I think what it is it's such an international event that they want to take it off because of that.
Right.
I think
Right.
it's more of that than it is the Trump being there.
Okay. All right. Well, it's honestly too bad that we even have to talk about what's going to be painted in the end zone, but anyway,
But before
it gives us something to complain about, right?
But before we wrap up, we should do our Super Bowl picks and see who
Oh, that's right.
see who it is and see what the score is going to be. Derek, we're going to get you in on that too.
Okay.
So,
All right. Well, I'm going Kansas City.
well, let's hold off. Let's do
Oh,
it just
okay.
before.
Oh, we're gonna.
Do it just before we end.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I already told you yesterday that
Yep.
I was.
But we're going to pick scores and everything.
Oh boy, I didn't know we were gonna do
We're gonna be
scores.
fancy.
Oh boy, I'll have to think about that a little bit. Okay, I just read something that makes me really happy, and that is Barnes and Noble. They're going to open 60 new stores. So remember, I mean, after COVID, just everything
'em down.
closed. We shut them all down. Nobody got to go sit at Barnes and Noble and read books anymore, and drink coffee while they peruse the selection. And thankfully here locally, we always had Victor Lundeen Company, and I love, love, love to go in there. I love the smell of the books even. Anyway, I'm so happy to hear that 60 new stores coming across the country.
I remember when I was younger, in my 20s, I spent a lot of time up in Fargo. I had a lot of friends that lived there, a lot of friends that went to college up there. So we'd, hit the rounds. One of the rounds we'd do is we'd hit Barnes and Noble.
A lot of people did.
And
That's where they went for their like Friday night.
And it was just like you look at all these kids just kind of hanging out, laying on these couches, and it's like there's got to be something better to life than just hanging out at Barnes and Noble. I mean, we went there to look for books or records because they had records back then,
Right.
and it's like, why are you just spending your entire evening here?
Well,
Just
they did have really good coffee too.
well, they had
so
it's Starbucks coffee, but I
Yeah.
mean, it's find something to do. It's a Friday night.
I guess.
Sitting on a
But,
couch.
hey, you don't
reading.
get in trouble at Barnes and Noble.
No.
So I don't
Unless
know.
you really work at it.
Yeah, unless you really work at it. Anyway, new locations include a flagship store in Washington, D.C., more to come in New York, Florida, and California. So the resurgence of bookstores is attributed to their role as social hubs, as you were talking about, especially after the pandemic and the growing popularity of Book Talk.
Book Talk.
Yeah, it's a TikTok community that has boosted book sales and made owning physical bookstores a little more trendy. So it's kind of a trendy thing. And speaking of books, remember I told you I was going to start reading The Women?
Yep.
I did. I'm within pages of finishing it. I can highly recommend it. It is a very good book. It's
Well, you were kind of saying it's kind of a little bit depressing.
well, a
sad.
little. I mean, it's a little dark or sad maybe is a better word, in that you felt like you were in the middle of what was going on in Vietnam and how awful it really was. And not even and then you're just praying for these nurses to get out of Vietnam and bring them home and bring these men home. And then they get home, and home is almost worse
Yeah.
because of the way they were treated when they came back to the United States. Just really a sad story. But it was eye-opening and very well written, and you're just kind of pulling for this woman named Frankie, and it's about women who became nurses in Vietnam, and they were actually never even really recognized for having been veterans
Wow.
when they were
Yeah.
part of the military. They weren't combat veterans, but really honestly, when you read the book, you will say that they were combat vets because they took part in what combat did to all those men. And anyway, it's a poignant story, and I would recommend it as a read. So it's called The Women.
The Women.
And I think it's Kristen Hanna, I believe it is the author. But anyway, really good. And this story reminded me just
And
to,
you mentioned
to
that
say
there's
that.
a movie out. Wasn't there a movie being made?
No, I think I said if there were a
Okay.
movie,
Okay.
it would be a good one. And maybe there is. I don't know. I'm always the I'm always the last one to know about that kind of stuff. But anyway, it was a good read, and it was one that it didn't take long to read. And it's about I think it was 478 pages. So it's a fairly lengthy book. But a really good and fast read because it was so good. I would wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, and if I laid there for more than 5 minutes awake, I thought, okay, I'm picking up my book.
See, I can't do that.
Well, I wasted a lot of good sleeping hours because it was good. And, it's the stories of these women falling in love with, some of the other vets and sad things that happen. Anyway, it's a good story. So if you're looking for a good book, that one won't take you very long to read for sure. Okay. Speaking of sleep, do you need white noise to sleep?
No. Well, I need it by fan.
Well, so I think that's considered white noise.
Yeah, but
Do
it's
you
not.
do you need it for do you need it for the air?
I need it for the air circulation.
Me too. I sleep with a fan as well, and I have got an overhead fan, and that's all I need. And it really doesn't make any noise, so I don't think I need the noise
I need the air
as
circulation.
much as I need the air circulation.
It all comes from back when I used to live in Battle Lake, and there'd be mosquitoes and stuff, and so I'd have the fan on to keep the mosquitoes and everything off my face at night. So they wouldn't bite me. And so
Well, that's a good thing to keep the mosquitoes off your
so
face.
it's kind of one of those things I
Well, and
kinda
once
got
you
used to
get
that.
used to it,
Yep.
even if it's just for the air circulation, it's
Yep.
tough to go without it.
It is.
That's why these people who say, "Oh, you got to have this pillow or
Or
you got to have
weighted
this
blanket.
weighted blanket." And I thought, "Oh, that sounds like maybe that would be good." But you know why I never go there?
Get used to it.
Well, you get used to it and then you travel and
Yep.
you got to travel with a weighted blanket? No thanks.
I've got the coolest little travel fan.
Oh, I've found some really cool travel fans
It's
too.
about
I've
yay
got a
big.
little tiny one like that
The
too.
USB plug-in.
Works great, doesn't
Yep.
it? Yeah. So anyway, I guess we all do what we have to do, but I need some air moving for sure.
My dad used to make fun of me so much when we traveled like Green Bay or down to Kansas City because he used to have a bigger fan, so I'd take my fan, I'd take my pillow, I'd take everything. He's like, "You taking your whole bedroom down there?" I'm
I
like,
know.
I want to be comfortable.
I
This is
know.
what I want.
But I think white noise, I agree with you. It is different. It's solid, and I don't like white noise. I think it's
No.
too noisy.
Well,
In fact, when I've forgotten my fan a couple of times, or maybe you're sleeping somewhere where you're able to hear somebody snoring in the next room or whatever.
next room, next to me.
Yeah, exactly. That you can turn something on. So I took my phone and I dialed up white noise, and I tried to have that make me sleep.
No.
But actually, it was just too noisy, even turned down really low. So that
White,
doesn't really work for me.
white noise is if you were like to flip on a channel that didn't exist and you
Right,
have all
so
those
it's
little pixelations. Yeah. It's
Yeah, terrible. Yeah, it's
yeah,
awful.
No.
Okay, this is a great story. There's a guy, I can't imagine doing this, but he has spent the last 25 years on the Royal Caribbean cruises.
I couldn't do it.
25 years,
I couldn't do 25 days.
1,000 voyages.
That's some of too much.
So, but he says this. However, living at sea has had an odd side effect. He has lost his land legs. He said, "When I am on land, I am swaying so much I can't even walk in a straight line."
Maybe it's
I
the
don't
alcohol.
know. Do you know, I think that
It's
I
a rum
remember
punch.
being in I don't know how big, it was a big motor home. And we drove it out to Montana. There were a bunch of us and we were going out skiing. So you're in this motor home for, I don't know, 15 hours or whatever it was to get out there. And when we got out, I remember we went into a restaurant to eat, and I felt like I was just moving
Doing the
back and forth, just like you did because there was this slight movement from side to side. And we were all just sick to our stomachs sitting in this restaurant because we were moving like that. So I can imagine that this might be true.
The missing lyrics to "What Would You Do with a Drunken Sailor?" Put him on land and watch him fall over. Put him on land and watch him fall over.
Yeah. Well, anyway, he said, "I'm so used to being on ships that it feels more comfortable than me being on land. While most of us have the opposite problem at sea, Mario has seemingly adjusted rather to life on the water rather than life on land. The technical term for his inability to walk on land, oh boy, yeah, I can't even say it. It's a huge, big, long word that I would.
Give it a shot.
No, boy. Mal de debarquement syndrome. Who knows?
Mal de debarquement.
Okay, that's very, very good. I don't know if it's right, but good job. Anyway, guess what he spends per year on cruises? Per year. He's been out there 25 years.
30 grand?
$101,000 per year just to be on a cruise ship all the time.
A couple $1 million.
Wow. A lot of money. Yeah.
That's a big no for me.
That is a big no for me too. Do you think you've heard people say, "Oh, things will seem better in the morning. Get some sleep. Everything will be fine
Never
in the
does.
morning." Okay.
Never does.
Well, there's a groundbreaking study for that. And it says this, that researchers analyzed 50,000 adults. That's a pretty big sample over 2 years to determine the impact of time of day, day of the week, and season on mental health and well-being. And the findings revealed that people generally start the day with a brighter frame of mind. So it's true. Things really do seem better in the morning.
I disagree.
I don't know.
My morning state of mind is just kind of not there. It's just kind of a zombie, just kind of going through the
Well, the findings also revealed that people generally start the day with a brighter frame of mind. They do so in the morning, experiencing higher levels of happiness, life satisfaction, and a greater sense of worth on Mondays and Fridays rather than Sundays. They say Sunday is the bad one.
No.
No.
There's no way.
Because Monday is looming. That's why.
Monday's looming, but Monday's Monday. Sunday is no. It's you go to church, you have fun, you maybe sleep in a little bit.
See, I think so too. That's how I feel. Just one more day of the weekend. And generally Sunday for us is a more laid back, chill kind of a day because, there's basketball games and stuff that happen on Friday and Saturday. And
Yeah.
so Sunday is just kind of the go to church and then kind of veg deal. Are you a sports drink guy? Do you drink a lot of sports drinks?
I do on occasion. I like Gatorade.
Sporting events, athletes, of course, during the sporting events, you can see athletes sometimes be drinking those electrolyte beverages, which
Yep.
makes sense. They
Lot of sugar.
restore, lost electrolytes like sodium and potassium, and they boost hydration. But they're saying, how often should you drink the sports beverages? I know people who don't even participate in sports who just drink sports beverages
I
all
mean,
the time.
every once in a while, if I want something and I want something sweet, but I don't want the caffeine,
You'll grab a
I'll grab
Gatorade
a
or
Gatorade,
something.
yeah.
Clinical assistant Sortira Everett suggests only drinking Gatorade when participating in prolonged exercise. If you're working out less than an hour, water is actually better.
Yeah.
Many sports drink formulations contain, as you mentioned, a lot of added sugar, which of course could add on the pounds.
Yep.
So there you go.
Now, I'll put you on the spot.
Okay.
We're always doing a lot of trivia questions for me.
The spot is not a good place for me.
Here
But
is
go
a
ahead.
trivia question for you. Let's cue it up. What college developed Gatorade?
Oh, goodness. Penn State.
Think of the name.
Uh,
Gatorade. Gatorade.
Florida.
There we go.
Okay.
University of Florida.
Okay.
Gatorade.
All right.
Say the
I
Gators.
did not know that.
Yep.
Well, see, every day I learn something. I think I have some. The trivia questions today were hard. Are you game?
Let's
Okay.
cue the music back up, Alex.
And you'll
let's,
probably, every time I think you're not going to get them, you do. Which philosophical movement helped inspire the American Revolution?
Whoa.
I know. I wouldn't even, I can't imagine.
Let's go. It's not isolationism, nationalism.
The Enlightenment.
Okay.
Yeah. See, I told you it was
I
hard.
could have had like 20 guesses. I don't think I
Okay.
would've got that
Who
one.
was Plato's famous teacher? You probably know this one.
Oh, it's not Confucius. It is Socrates.
Yeah. See, I told you. I knew you'd know that one. Okay, this one is actually this sounds okay to me. And I can't remember if do you like pineapple on pizza?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like pineapple. Period.
Okay, So you might like this. Anyway, there's a TikToker who was shocked actually, went out for breakfast, shocked to find pineapple in her sister's scrambled eggs. What is weirder, they said. Well, the restaurant they went to actually serves eggs this way. Did you not read the menu? That's what the server asked when they asked about the chunks of the fruit in her eggs. I don't know. Scrambled eggs with pineapple?
I'd try it for science.
I would too. The video has amassed over 500,000 shocked viewers. I mean, if it's on the menu, then the chef is right.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean just because
That
it's
it's
right
good.
that it's a good combination. Anyway, why would you have to read the menu for scrambled eggs, right? Well,
Well, I mean, does it have cheese? Does it have onions?
I know,
mean,
for sure.
What's in it?
Yeah, I would agree.
Oh, wait, before we wrap things up, we got to get our picks. You said Kansas
Oh,
City's going to win.
gosh.
What's your score?
I am going.
Derek, get ready. You're next. You're paying attention.
All right, Kansas City 35-21.
35-21, Kansas
KC,
City.
yep.
I am going to go throw something out the window. And then
That's how we get Derek's
that's
attention.
how we get Derek's attention. I'm going to go, I think it's going to be close. So I'm going to go 24-21. I got to go Kansas City, 24-21. Derek, we're talking about Super Bowl picks. And who do you got? And what is your score?
Oh, that's a hard one. I feel like the Eagles are the underdog this year. Everyone's looking for a three-peat from Kansas City, so I'm gonna go Eagles with a score of like 30. Well, let's go 38 to like 32.
38-32 Eagles. So we'll check
Okay,
on
we'll
Monday
see.
and we'll see how everything goes.
Do we have anything on the line?
No, just
Okay.
pride.
Just okay. Well, I'm going to wrap up the show with some good news.
That's always good.
Crayola is bringing back several retired crayon colors for the first time in its 122-year history. The 8 colors making a return are Dandelion, Blizzard Blue, Magic Mint, Mulberry, Orange Red, Violet Blue. Really? They took out Violet Blue? Wow. Lemon Yellow and Raw Umber. That was a big deal, Raw Umber. I remember that one.
I didn't care.
Okay. Well, fans can seize all of them in a limited edition Retired Colors 8-pack. They're excited to bring back this beloved limited edition color collection that will give kids even more opportunities to colorfully imagine their page. Okay, just here's my brush with fame. In 4th grade, I entered a competition to name a new Crayola color. And the name that I chose actually ended up on a Crayola crayon. And it's called Denim. It was a dark blue color. So that's my claim to fame. That's all I got.
I thought maybe being on the radio might be up
Well,
there.
of course, being on the radio is something too. I mean, who wouldn't want to do that, right? Okay, well, that is going to wrap up another week already.
It is.
Yeah. So anyway, thanks for joining us, everybody. Our show today and every day brought to us by Pioneer Care and by Fergus Falls Monument Company. Have a great weekend.